Hi, this is Estere, and you've reached the Flower Channel. Thanks for joining me for my really fun garden reclamation project in Central City. The project is filmed on a few different videos, so make sure that you see them all so you can see the reclaiming of this beautiful sacred space. This is Estere, and I'm at the Venus Love garden that I'm reclaiming for the Central City Opera in Colorado. And I've uncovered this central planted area. You could tell it has rocks all around the edge. I've been did the preliminary clearing out just so I can see what plants are left that aren't grasses. I've been removing the grasses. You see I still have them. They're still there. I was doing the first level. These I actually have to dig out. The roots are pretty prolific. And then under the spruce tree, so here's that glorious spruce tree, it's so big. We have this area under the tree that has a path. It's a path made of there's stones on either side, and then we see the path is strewn with spruce needles and cones, and the path goes all the way around here. Those are the church bells. That's pretty. They do go off every hour. So here's the path, and then I've just decided to remove all this artemisia here, which it's really very pretty, but it's right in the path, and it's in the. I think I'm going to trim it back, but I think the idea is to have this kind of open stone area around the tree, and then a path, and then this area, this kind of bigger garden area, be sovereign unto itself without that artemisia interfering. But I have another idea for what to do with the artemisia, so stay tuned, and we're gonna see what that turns into. Let's take a little look around the garden here this morning. August 10th, 2020. So we have a super beautiful breezy day here in the Love Garden, the homage to Venus. And you can see I have a beautiful aspen tree right here, and then I have these cottonwood suckers that are kind of blocking the view of the garden. And with gratitude and appreciation for the beauty, I am going to lop them off now, and then I will show you how it opens up the whole garden. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so I have removed those saplings, and now the garden has completely opened up. Lovely, and I'm reminded of that koan that says, "Barn burned down, now I can see the moon." Beautiful day in this mountain love garden. And now I can start clearing away more of the grasses and making room for more of the flowering plants. Lovely. Ta-ta for now. So back in the back corner of the grotto, this is the back left corner, there's a beautiful little, it looks like a, I'm not exactly sure what kind of a bush this is. I'm going to find out, but it has a lot of dead wood. I'm going to trim it all back and just leave the fresh growth. Be careful you're not cutting something that has foliage on it. I mean, if you do, it's okay, really. It'll grow back. So don't panic if you think you cut too much off, because plants really love to be trimmed. Yeah, gives them more vitality. And then if we move over here to the other side of the grotto, there's another shrub similar to that one, and I've been pulling it out. You can see by the roots it was just been coming out. It's all rotted. So you want to get away anything that's not totally supportive to new growth. I'm going to trim away a whole bunch of this stuff here. Hillside right next to the grotto of tansy. This could be wild tansy. It could have been planted. It has big yellow tops. There's some already blooming in a different part of the garden, but I'm just going to clean this out, cut back broken, decaying stuff, and clean out some of the plants that aren't yarrow to give them full reign of this area. So, of course, I'm working on the garden bit by bit, and I just did a bigger project back there in the grotto, cutting back those bushes and kind of digging through that yarrow patch, which actually was a little challenging because I had spruce branches jabbing me in the head, and they're very sharp. I think it's the way they hug, but still. So I'm going to clean out this little flower bed area here. It has a lot of grasses and kind of just things that want to give some space, a little bit more to the flowering plants, kind of clean out this area. And it's shady and the wind's blowing and it's beautiful, so I'm enjoying that. Okay, so how do you know what to pull out? You know what to leave? Well, I'm pulling out all the dead foliages, of course, and little branches. And I'm taking out this old, looks like leaves left from last season. So I'm just clearing all that out so that just creating some more air and space around the plants. Now, some of these plants, I don't know exactly what they are, but I'm really just pulling out grasses like this, because grasses take up a lot of nutrients in the soil that you actually, in this type of a setting, you want to have all those nutrients go to the flowering plants. Okay. Now I'm working on the path that goes around the spruce tree. I'll show you from back here. It's pretty much a spiral that's created almost like a labyrinth. So I'm clearing the way of plants that are growing right up through the needles. And the interesting thing about this area is that roots are very shallow here, so it's super easy to weed. And then we're going to have a nice clear open path to this scene, this magical rock scene here, which we're going to create this beautiful love garden. To show you how I opened up the path around the spruce tree. So here's the giant spruce, and it was covered with artemisia. So what I did is I had a little conversation with the artemisia, with this lovely plant, which had kind of taken over the path. And I was thinking if I should just pull it all out, but then, you want to commune with your plants and create a relationship. And they really wanted to be here in the garden. And we decided that it would be best if we just kind of removed the parts of the artemisia that were covering the path, and then leave the part that was just under the tree and kind of trim out everything. So that's what was left, and I think it looks really pretty. Beautiful. And it's that lovely silver color against the rocks. It's just beautiful. Okay, now we're going to move along, and I want to show you, well, this is obviously, we're taking the path through the garden that's been cleared, so I can see where the stones are. And this is the pile of artemisia that I weeded out, that I culled from the garden. So that's quite a stash, and I'm going to make something decorative with this artemisia. And so first, you can see there's a lot of stems that have dirt on them, roots. So I'm going to trim all those up and get myself some just clean Artemisia material to work with. That'll be on the next video. Watch for that. Thanks so much for visiting my flower channel today and for joining me in this beautiful garden reclamation project in Central City, Colorado. Come back and visit again. Always love to connect with you through the flowers.